We were talking about the Kardashians.
Oh,
and how
are we doing that?
No, you don't have to.
I don't
you
care.
don't have to.
Listen,
By the way, everything that I do, I always let you see it before.
Oh, 100%.
Because I don't want to fucking get toiled either, bro.
It doesn't bother me because it's out there.
But you don't have to say it, but it's fucking... Dude, I know a lot of shit, and I'd heard shit, but you were fucking...
Oh, no, I was witness to...
so, go slowly.
Okay, I'll go slowly.
Again, this is over a taco.
This is over a taco.
And I'm like, dude, I wish I had cameras right now.
I'm gonna preface this with Scott Disick is my homie and has been since we were kids. Like, I fucking love Scott.
I think he's misunderstood a lot.
Big time. And like,
he's a sweet kid.
Yeah, he's a good guy. And, he's got his demons and I fucking love Scott no matter what. Courtney was always super cool with me. Never had an issue with Courtney. Actually, that whole family's always been very polite.
I only got to know Chloe a little bit. I did her show. She's sweet. Like, and I've always liked them too.
They're incredibly sweet. They're incredibly professional, and they fucking play the game. I'll give them that. They're playing 4D chess while we're all playing 3D.
Yeah,
like
or checkers.
Yeah, they're on a different wavelength with like, how do you monetize this to the bitter end? Which brings me to the origins of the success of a certain member of that family.
Okay.
So Kim with her tape.
Yes.
I won't say who I was with.
You don't have to.
But
and the lineage to go would Pam and Tommy Lee, Paris, Kim. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Gold, silver, bronze.
Yeah.
And then it became not the way to do it anymore.
And then it became like so blasé.
Yeah. Got it.
So with her tape, I have firsthand knowledge that Chris negotiated with Joe Francis of Girls Gone Wild to release that tape.
Wow.
Like that was not leaked. And when it came out recently, because Ray J was like, fuck you, like you made money from that, I didn't. And the Kardashians like, oh, no. And I get it. Listen, Kim's a mother now, and I don't want to God forbid our kids would ever stumble across this, but like, own it. Like, they have been so unapologetic about everything else. Why is that the I'm not going to come clean at the car wash? It's like, who cares?
It's a good phrase. Here you go with your phrase again. So you're saying, going back to another Jag phrase, there was some skullduggery. So let's go back, and again, we can edit all this. Yeah. So did Kim, in your opinion, I'm not a gossiper, but it's fascinating, her and Ray J were just having sex?
Yeah.
And maybe they were like, hey, let's tape ourselves because we're two hot people?
Sure.
And then at that point...
See, I've never done that because I'm like, no, this is ugly. No one wants to see this.
I just don't... I don't have the... I don't have the time. I'm just so horny.
Yeah, I'm just By the time I've got about 8 seconds. So.
Yeah, like as soon as I set the thing up, it's over. Like, you know what I mean? And like I gotta wait another hour and take some burdock root, see if I can
roll over and eat some ice cream.
Yeah, right? So people taping was always fascinating to me. But... So... You make this tape. How does it go? So then you're like at dinner and you're like, Mom, I want to let you know what me and Ray J did. Was it a planned tape or was it not a planned tape? In your opinion,
in my opinion, I think it was planned.
Really?
Yeah.
By the participants or by the mastermind?
I think probably Partis. I don't know, because you just kind of think like, well, she was close with Paris. She used to work for Paris.
I remember she just fucking. Get her coffee. Yeah. 2 creams, 3 sugars.
She was Paris's personal organizer.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I can imagine that was like hey, we should release a tape. Why not? Like,
okay.
If you've got one, why not release it?
And it was working for Paris.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was also had privy knowledge of when that tape was going to drop and how paranoid Paris was.
Yeah.
And then she realized it could be a benefit. It was never. I've seen lemonade made out of lemon so beautifully, and the rest is history.
Totally.
And it was brilliant.
Yeah,
but Paris didn't make that tape for that reason. And I don't even think she made the tape.
No, I mean that legitimately leaked.
That was not her fault.
Yeah, that was like totally.
So,
but I know money was made from the radio.
So you're saying you were with people that were there, and you're saying basically we're just going to say you're saying Chris was definitely like, well, we're going to not only.
Joe Francis, on the behest of Chris, negotiated the deal for the release of the tape.
Wow.
That was how it was told to me, and Pete with like firsthand knowledge, like in the room with the phone call happening.
Chris got a cut?
She takes a cut of everything.
Wow.
She's the most baller one out of that whole family. She gets 10% of everything her kids make.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know, but like of that, you would think, oh, all right, that one I won't. I'll give to like
that
a
feels
charity.
a little dirty.
Yeah, a little. Jesus Christ. I mean, I do remember hearing that. It's in the ether, but the fact that you have super inside knowledge.
Fully. Yeah. No, I was like.
By the way, Joe Francis, I don't know where you are.
He's in Mexico.
At his baller spot?
At his compound.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he can't come here.
I believe he can't come here. I think, and then he just got there was some legal thing. Because I looked him up. I was like, where the fuck is that guy? Is he dead?
Yeah. He was the number one baller.
He was one of those rapey, creepy guys.
Yeah, he was rapey, creepy.
Yeah.
Well, his whole business was rapey, creepy.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to rapey, creepy.
And maybe we should contextualize. Joe Francis was the creator of Girls Gone Wild.
Yes.
For people who don't know.
Thank you for using that big word. And he would always have big parties.
Oh, huge. Yeah. At his yeah.
But if he offered you a 7-Up, don't take it.
Nope.
I mean, if you're a female, for sure, but I would never have a 7-Up from him.
I knew numerous girls who were working models in LA that he turned out into porn. Like he would go to these girls and be like, hey, you're like a struggling model, but like come to the dark side and we'll put you in some porn. Wow.
And that's terrible.
Yeah.
And now he can't come back to America because of stuff like this.
I believe. Yeah. Okay. I believe there's some pending. I mean, he did go to prison for a little bit, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a guy that was making $50 million a year.
Yeah.
Isn't it wild?
Yeah, and now there's OnlyFans girls that are making $50 million a year.
Push that up a little bit. Yeah, they're right across the fucking hallway. I was telling Jack that. Jack's like, this building's incredible. And I was like, none of it is fucking Hollywood money.
No.
It's literally cams and ring lights.
So weird.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's wild with the Joe thing because of all this shit, but I will say the guy was a genius with the creation of how Girls Gone Wild came by.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. I'll probably get in trouble. Because I should tell the story. You know how it started, right?
It started with Ari's calling me. Didn't it start with
he worked on a show called World's Worst Train Crashes.
Yes.
And Joe was like a fucking not even an editor.
Yeah.
He was like a logger.
Yeah.
So a logger is somebody who watches all the footage and then goes, oh, there's a moment there, there's a moment there. And they would go to New Orleans because Lafayette trains or Mississippi and where all these events were, and they would always have party things and girls would be like, bah, bah. So he just said, hey, do you want this footage? And I'm like, we can't use that shit. And he started collecting the beads, the bead footages, and then he fucking marketed as Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah.
They got the releases. Now, what was scummy was because they signed the release.
And
Once
you're
you're
wasted.
And you're wasted.
You're like,
so it's total crookery. And then when they called and they go, that's my tits. And so girls were fucking sophomores at ASU were going, dude, I don't remember doing that. So genius on his part, scummy on that part. But if he would have paid them extra or whatever, maybe. But then it just spiraled out of control. And he became one of the biggest people on the party circuit.
Yeah.
And he would hear the rapey, creepy stuff of like, I never heard rape. I just heard like, if you took a sip of a 7-Up, you might fall asleep.
Yeah. That's what and there was a lot of cocaine with that guy.
Yeah,
he was Mr. Cocaine. Like that guy was like fucking Pablo Escobar's cousin.
That's because I remember he rented the mansion.
Yeah.
One of the mansions at
in Bel Air.
He did that, but also in Vegas, he had some party, and it was like, they call those sections a mansion, and he was like, yeah. Somebody said, let's go to Joe's. It was like 4:01, and I was up, but he was like, hey man, and he was so up. It was 4:01 a.m. And dude, like the whole party's passed out, but he and a few people were just like, it was like 8 p.m.
Dude, I know someone that was.
I was like, do they have an espresso machine in here?
At his place in Vegas, in Mexico.
We're really spilling tea. We're making Chelsea Handler look innocent. We'll edit. Go ahead. You're at his place in Mexico.
So my friend of mine was.
You're a little bit of a. You like a little bit.
Oh yeah, you know what it is?
You're like a teetotaler.
I fucking kept my mouth shut for so long about so much stuff. I'm like, fuck it. I don't give a shit. Everyone sucks.
You're a chatty Jackie. I love it. Go ahead.
No, someone I know walked in to. They got lost at his compound in Mexico.
Yeah,
And-
that was so. Just to let you know, the guy's compound is acres.
Yeah, it was built by the guy like that built Four Seasons Mexico.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And he would invite people to go down
And
there
on his plane, that was like
and
kinda-
never let you leave.
yeah.
So go ahead.
And this guy I know got like lost in the compound and like comes around a corner and walks into like a bungalow and finds Joe Francis with his leg up, naked, with his leg up on the sink, blow drying his balls, like coked out to the hilt. And he just looks at my friend and is like, "What's up, dude? What? Are you lost? You need something?" And my friend just kind of looked at him while he was blow drying his balls and just was like, "No, dude," and just walked out.
What time of day was it?
It was like the afternoon.
Wow.
And he just said he was like, the way his intensity was like, there's no big deal. It was like if I just walked in here right now, it was like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah. Why? I don't know why his balls had to be blow
Yeah,
dried.
well, that was my takeaway too. I'm like,
Was there a lot of hair down there?
I don't know. Maybe it was like humid and he didn't want to like put his his shorts on with the humidity. He didn't want like swamp ass. I don't know.
Yeah. Why? You just wipe.
Yeah, baby wipe, dude. Baby
Yeah.
wipe and some talc. You're good.
Yeah, it's exactly same recipe. Dude, you said so much, but wait. So I have another question. So, how? Let's go lead into this. So I get the call. One of the greatest offers I've ever got, by the way, is working with you,
Oh, great.
because I get an email from either Peter or your office, and they're like, "Hey, Jamie, we're doing this show. Would you be interested?" It was like during the pandemic when we started creeping out,
Yep.
and then about a year and a half after, and they were like, "Here's the offer. That's all the money we have," but it was a good amount of money for doing nothing. And you're all like, "And you can bring your assistant and blah blah blah." And I was like, I gave it to my lawyer. He's like, "This is great." Like my lawyer's like, "No notes."
Yeah.
And it was so fair. And then I find out I'm going to be with you and Jay.
Yeah.
And we're going to be hunting for aliens, which was incredible.